When Donald Trump was elected to office last January, I was on high alert, afraid that I was in imminent danger due to both my womanhood and my brown skin. I decided to attend the Women's March on Washington to oppose the election results and what the new administration had in store. My friend Dana and I chartered a bus and brought a load of around 40 women and men down to Washington, D.C., to participate in what would be described as one of the largest protests in U.S. history. When major Instagram accounts like Refinery29 shared our photo, there was an overwhelmingly positive reaction from their predominantly white audiences. We got cheers and amen from women who were excited about the movement, the revolution, and the fact that our signs advocated for the protection of disabled, fat, transgender, Muslim and poor women, among others. It was surreal to see support from so many women who connected with the passion I had that day. More than a month after the Women's March on Washington, Afropunk posted the photo on their Instagram account in honor of International Women's Day. I went to take a peek, expecting to read comments that were similar to the support I had received before. I was incredibly wrong. In the last year, my activism has been reborn. I've had to dive deep into learning and introspection as I continue to carve out my most authentic space as a Black woman who is fighting against the patriarchy, against a racist nation, and against the realities of living in a world full of performative activism and social media allies. Earlier this month, I was invited to be a guest on the Pantsuit Nation podcast to discuss the recent death of Erica Garner and what this tragic event meant for Black women. Just a year before, I would have jumped at the opportunity. This time, I paused to consider. Pantsuit Nation has a Facebook group where its members share stories, rally behind issues, and connect over their collective concerns about the new administration. The group has been known to be problematic at times for women of color. Its moderators have at times fallen short in maintaining it as a safe and inclusive space. When I mentioned the Pantsuit Nation invitation to a group of Black women I often connect with over activist issues, I got an almost immediate no from those ladies. We have no need to go in and educate them on how to support Black women. They know how, they just choose to only do it within their level of comfort. They are not our allies. They have silenced us over and over again. Don't be their token. I was stuck again between the rock of meaningful activism for the feminist issues that mean so much to me and the hard place of defending my Blackness. I had ideas to share, but I certainly didn't want to be the voice of all Black women, which often is how vocal Black women are perceived. I also didn't want to miss out on an opportunity to address a large audience of mostly white women on the issues that they rarely dive into, those issues that haunt Black women exclusively. I finally decided to do the podcast. I went in with a heart ready to connect meaningfully and with a voice I wasn't willing to let waver from its intended topic: Black women, Black women, Black women. I have had to grow into this space of being protective and intentional with my energy as a Black woman. While I have ultimately decided not to attend this weekend's Women's March, I won't be standing around quietly. I will be learning all I can so that I have knowledge to teach and share. I will continue creating spaces for marginalized voices to speak on their own behalf. I will engage in political efforts to ensure that our leaders are indeed leading us to safe and meaningful places. I will continue to live boldly as a Black woman, which is a bit of a revolution in itself. Since the photo went viral, I have done more work than I would have ever imagined in the world of activism, work I am both proud of and excited to continue to grow into. Every day I wake up knowing that conversations around social justice and activism will be asked of me. I have decided that I am no longer going to pull myself to pieces in an anxious effort to decide which part of myself I must represent moment by moment. Black feminist and philosopher Christy Dotson defines Black feminism as the robust efforts to generate, continue and/or promote activism, advocacy, research and/or theory that might change the current plight of Black people, specifically cis and trans Black women, girls, and gender nonconforming people. That is my work. She lays it out plain and simple. So here I am living in this intersection of black and woman and steering my ship through murky waters in an attempt to be a part of the solution in a way that allows my whole self to be free, heard and accounted for with respect in this country. Have a compelling first-person story you want to share? Send your story description to pitch at. Related video, watch news, TV and more on News Pulse View.